Shalom to everybody. Parshat Behar-Bechukotai, also the almost Erev Yom Yerushalayim. And I'm actually not going to speak about Yom Yerushalayim on the video, but Davka Achul. In Parshat Bechukotai, we have what seems to be a very, very difficult pasuk. I mean, it seems innocent enough, but in the beginning of the Parsha, Hashem says that there will be a time when Am Yisrael will keep all the mitzvot, they will go in the way of the Torah, and then they will merit every single blessing that one can imagine. There'll be prosperity both from a physical, material, spiritual point of view. There'll be no worry, no anxiety. There'll be abundance of crops and all such blessings. And the Torah then summarizes that whole blessing by saying, in verse number 11, "V'natati mishkani b'tochachem," which means that I will place my mishkan, my sanctuary, amongst you. It means, in other words, I will place my presence in you. V'lo tik'al nafshi etchem, and I will not, my soul, so to speak, will not reject you. The word tik'al, it means reject, but it's actually much stronger than that. We know that from the concept of Hagalat Kelim. What does Hagalat Kelim mean? There's, for example, in a vessel which we want to kosher, there's a flavor of something which is not kosher, or chometz or something which is milk, and we want to expunge it. We want to vomit it out, to take it out of the walls of the vessel. So we call that Hagalat Kelim. Right? That's what we call. So the verse then is actually very difficult. It says, and I will go and I will natati mishkani b'tochachem, that I will dwell amongst you. My presence will be in you, and I will not reject you. I will not, so to speak, abhor you. You can imagine a couple at a very romantic moment. And in this romantic moment that there are between this couple, let's say the husband or the lover will say to his wife, you know what, I really absolutely adore you. And you know what, I don't find you revolting. Can you imagine someone speaking like that? I'm absolutely in love with you. I think you're the most beautiful, wonderful person in the world. And you know what, I don't think that you're that ugly. Who speaks in such a way? So what does the Pasuk say? That I will be with you, I'll put my presence in you, and then within the same breath, the Torah says that Hashem says to the Jewish people, and I won't reject you. It won't be like Hagalat Kelim. There's various approaches to this whole problem, and the Ramban raises this issue. And I'll basically share a very simple idea. The idea is that Hashem is saying that I will bring you a lot of blessings, and what I'm going to promise you is that when you receive these blessings, and sometimes there's a tendency for a person when they've got blessings, when they're full of success, is that it leads to a certain smugness. It's similar to what Dr. Raphael once explained, the connection in Birkat Kohanim. When the Kohanim bless us, the last blessing is Ya'er Hashem panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. The Kadosh Baruch Hu should cause the light of His face to shine upon you, and to give you peace. What's the shalom? What does peace has got to do with us? Rav Soloveitch explains is that when Hashem gives us all these blessings, both material and spiritual, then again it's the way of a person to be very satisfied, to be very smug about themselves, and therefore Hashem says the blessing also that the Kohanim give us, v'yasem lecha shalom, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will have a sense of harmony and peace with us, that he won't be irritated, in inverted commas, by the way that we react to his abundance of blessing. I remember that in Time magazine, I mean, it's a pity that I didn't put it on the put it on the site. But I remember that when there was an article in Time magazine, Time Life actually at those times, after Herman Wouk, the famous New York author, when he won the Pulitzer Prize, so there was a whole lot writing about him, and in that in that issue, they made a very interesting comment. I don't know what other adjective to say. But what is the comment? It says, unlike all his other peers, Jewish peers, who were successful writers or whatever, that they gave up their Judaism. They went into the restaurants and they ate all the treif in the world. They didn't keep Shabbos, didn't put on a kippah. This was part of, so to speak, their, we've made it. So in Time Life it says, well, this person called Herman Wouk, he is actually very, very interesting in that, yes, he's reached all the success and he's still an orthodox about you. So that tells it all. That tells it all that sometimes, yes, when we receive all these blessings, there's always that sakana of how to receive it. It's like, if I can, on a humorous note, just end. There's a clip of Jackie Mason. And Jackie Mason says over there that every single successful designer of clothes, what he does is the minute he hits the big times, what he does is he changes his name and he takes like a nice Jewish name and he makes it into some sort of like exotic French Italian name. So Jackie Mason says, why is that? Because he says, can you imagine like a person makes it big, and can you imagine like a nice Jewish woman? She's like very sophisticated. She calls on one of her colleagues, one of her students, who says, come, let me show you my Finkelstein. So can you imagine like a woman saying that? So therefore she knows. She says, come, let me show you my Giorgio Armani. Now it sounds like good. So that's what it's saying over here. I'll go in your midst. I'll give you all these blessings, and hopefully that I won't reject you, because sometimes what you'll do is you act in a certain way. There was a book, very famous book of the 60s, 70s, The Art of Giving, and I'd like to say that over here in this Parsha, when it says that I'll give you all the blessings and I won't reject you. So we have to know not only how to give, but we also have to know that there's a big, big art of also how to receive. So Shabbat Shalom lekulam, to have a very good Shabbos and all the best. Bye.